Welcome back everyone to 2022, and my name is Jacob, and in today's Pro Series, we'll be showing you how to do everything you do at the start of the year. So we'll be going over a couple of topics today. First one is prepping our students for the rollover. So we'll be moving all our patrons to the left classification. Next, we'll be importing patrons using the Smart Patron Import feature. Then we'll be checking loan limits and borrowing dates. And then checking borrowing dates, borrowing loan types and renewal type. Then I'll show you that you can still report on left patron. So let's begin and get started. The first things first is we'll jump into the system menu, go into configuration, and then open up global functions. So what we're doing now is we're moving all our patrons to a single class grade called left 2021. So we're going to patron, move patrons by classification, and then click open. So in here, we want to drop down the search class grade box and then select all our current class grades. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you're primary school, you want to click these. Also make sure we get our Hindi and prep if it's applicable. We'll use this for prep. So we have our students that we want to move to our left category. So once we have our class grade selected, we want to go ahead and select search. Then we'll click change. And then from this list, we're going to click search class grade and type in left 2021. Now, if left 2021 doesn't appear like it does here, we're going to go ahead and click the plus sign. This plus sign will go ahead and create class grade for you. Now it's telling me this because mine's already created, but that's okay. So once left 2021 selected, we'll go ahead and select update. Then the Smart will tell us if you want to make these changes. We do. We'll hit confirm. Now all our students are in the one class grade. So what's going to happen is when we do the Smart Patron import, it's going to move everyone into their correct homerooms and class grades, and everyone left in left 2021 are either like year 6s who have graduated, or if there are students in other grades who have left the school. They will all remain there, and we can still report on them. I'll show you that going down the line. All right. The next is we want to do the actual import. So from the system menu, we want to go into patron and then go into Smart Patron Import. Once here, we've got a couple of things we can do. Now we need a CSV file. I'll bring up what the CSV file looks like because there are important information that you do need in the CSV file. So this is an example CSV file, and for a student import, you must have the following headers. Now, this one here is the header. I'll bold this for emphasis. This is your header. If SmartSword asks you has header, you want this to be selected if your first row has headers like this. If, for example, this wasn't here, then you would untick header like so. And because this example does have a header, we'll select that. All right. Your CSV file must contain some important information. This information is as follows. You need your barcode or a unique identifier. This will be going to be a barcode field, so it can be like something like a student ID or anything. And this must be unique as well, so only one can exist. Then you have your student surname, student first name, their new homeroom, their new class grade, their username. Now, username is optional, but it also depends on how you merge by. I'll get back into that a bit later. And additionally, another optional field is email address. So these 5 here are mandatory. You must need these 5 categories. These here are both optional, but we like you to have them there as well. Once your CSV file is prepped, we'll go back into Smart Patron Import and select Upload File. Now you want to browse your computer to find your CSV file. I found mine right here. We will open that up. Now we get into the template mapping step. Now this one is very important to get right. Otherwise, we have a bunch of issues in the line. So make sure we get this done correctly. Now sometimes you want to have a template prepared and ready to go, but if not, this is what we have to do. So now we see a bunch of red here, and we also see a bunch of green. What green means is that it successfully matched the header to a field in SmartSuite. It identifies role class as homeroom, it identifies year as classification, username as username, and email address as email. However, it doesn't understand enrollment ID, preferred family name, and preferred given name. So in enrollment ID, you want to click the tell me what's in this column box, and then find barcode. Just type in barcode and we tick it. Like so. In preferred family name, we're going to click that and type in surname. We click that. And then in preferred given name, we find first name and click that. Now what happens when you select the wrong thing? So right now I've selected alternate parent first name and first name. What do I do now? I don't want to call my kid's parent their kid's parent name. So to do that, to unselect something, you just click the drop down box again, type in the one you don't want. I don't want alternate parent first name. You can see it there ticked. All you do is click it again to untick it. And it's all done. So now, once you've a completed template mapping, will look something kind of like this. And before we jump into the next step, this is the most important step of the template mapping, and that is your merge by selection. Now, merge by can either be by barcode, email, external ID, full name, and username. And what's important to note about this is that you must, one record, so one column in our CSV file must have the same information that's already on SmartSuite, whether it be barcode, first name plus her name for full name, external ID, email, or username. What do I mean by this? So if you have new barcodes and we do merge by barcode, this is going to create new accounts for these patrons. And if we already have these patrons on SmartSuite, we get duplicates. Same thing if we choose email address or username. As long as one of them is already on SmartSuite, then it'll work all well and good. So you can use full name as well. So if, but that can cause issues if there are kids with the same first name and surname. We'll get into how it looks like going to the next step. So once we are happy with the template mapping, we're going to click next step right here. And now we can see a preview change. We'll also click I'll move my little camera. You can see this better. Yeah. So we click the load more results, and it will show us a little preview of what is being updated. Now, on your end, you'll see some will look, this box will look red and say new instead of update, and that's fine. And some of them will look green like this and say update. And you'll see a bunch of changes that are happening over here. You'll see class grade be updated. So it will say left 2021 in this column, which is the current value, and then their new class grade will be shown here. Their homerooms will also be updated. And if you get any more new additional information in the CSV file, it would also reflect here. And because my barcodes on the system are all the same, it will find them easily enough and then match and merge information. So once I'm happy with this, I'll go ahead and click Perform Changes. Now we need to confirm these changes, and to do so, we need to input a security code. This security code is found in the mailbox. Open up the mailbox. I would like to click on the system menu button, hover my mouse over the mailbox button, right click it, and then go open a new tab. Now open in this tab over here. We'll go to it, go into system, go into the latest ticket that's available there, Patreon import security code, click it, and then highlight this code right here. Just highlight it, right click, select copy, go back to Smart Patron Import, and then right click, paste. Then click confirm. And the smart will give you one final warning. This import can't be undone. Are you sure you want to perform the patron import? Yes, I do. We click OK. Then the patron import process will begin, and I'll go through the steps of importing all your data. And if it all went well, you'll see a screen like this, all validations passed. Sometimes there'll be validation errors, and it'll give you a list of what errors there are. And if you are like, whoa, I don't want that, and you're all scared or not sure if this is correct, you can select go back, and then select the rollback button. And that will undo your import, and then you can see the site again by clicking go back again and filling in the steps if you miss anything or you want to try something else. If you accidentally select rollback and didn't mean to, you can just select restart and it'll do the process again. Ideally, you'd want, once you hit this screen, before you get out of it, you want to jump into a patron management and just look up a few patrons to see if they've been imported correctly. And that is the Smart Patron import. And then we will go into be checking our loan limits and borrowing dates. So from the system menu, you want to jump down to configuration and then authority editor. From the drop-down box, we'll find class grade, and then we're going to find our class grades and open them up. And we need to determine if final borrow and expiry are up to date. Sometimes they might be set to last year still, so this one might be saying 21, 21. And say, well, that won't work, I'll get errors. So all you have to do is highlight it and then change it to the year we want it to. So to do this for every single class group we have, make sure the final borrow and expiries are all up to date and for this year. And then we need to also change our loan type. We'll jump into class grade, the drop-down box, it says class grade, and then find loan type. And we also need to change it for our loan type. So fortnightly, we open it up, you can see our final borrow date, put the pencil icon here, and we can change our final borrow date. So if this said 2021, update it to something that's more applicable for this year. As if it was 2021, we'll get errors when we use it. And then finally, we can report on patrons still in the left category. So if you want to jump into reports, we can do a bunch of reports on that classification. So if you do overdues, you can do overdues by classification. Drop down the class grade box, and then we look for left 2021. Boom, click generate. And this is going to be a list of patrons who aren't with the school anymore, but still have overdues. So I can go chase them up or send them an email if I need to. That's one of the benefits of moving everything into the left 2021 category. You can chase up people who still have loans overdues. You can then go ahead and mark these books as lost or missing. And you can also, and if you're happy with all this and you want to fully remove patrons that are no longer with the school, they have no more loans, you can do that in global functions, patrons. Sorry, we'll go into configuration, then down to global functions. Going down to patrons, we want to delete patrons by class grade. Search class grade, type in left 2021. We're happy that these students have no more loans on them. There is no reason to keep them in. We don't need to report on them at all. Go ahead and click search, and then delete by filter. Once that's done, everyone who wasn't on that, what is in that class grade of left 2021 will be off your system. That is about it with the rollover, the start of the year rollover. We covered through moving patrons to left classification. We also did the import, changed our loan limits and borrowing dates, and also showed how to do cataloging or reporting, on left patrons. That's it. That's it for me here. Thank you for watching, and take it easy. See you next time. Bye for now.